Hey guys, it's Kay. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Kay. I'm a professional home organizer and soprano here in the Boston area, and I'm here to inspire you to live a more organized life. So today we're going to talk about my 5 best practices for keeping an organized home from a professional organizer's point of view. Now, I think I've done this video once or twice on my channel before, but we're going to talk about we're going to go a little bit deeper and talk about some of the specific questions and concerns you guys have had about some of my, I guess, rules. I really believe in rules really so much when talking about organizing, but let's talk about best practices today. So we're going to talk about 5 of my top tips, top best practices for keeping an organized home. All right, let's go. So the first one that works for like 99.99% of the cases that we're talking about here, and you know, I don't like to put everybody in the same box, paint everybody with the same brush, but most of the time this is going to keep your house from getting insane or your space from getting insane, and that is simply just having a place for everything to go, having a home for everything. I know this seems kind of like dumb and, you know, like of course obvious or something, but really it matters, and it especially matters if you're out shopping. You're out shopping, you're like, ooh, I want to get this thing, and I have to think to myself, do I have room to put this? Do I have a place to put this when I get it home? If the answer is no, do not buy this item. Leave this item in the store, or establish a home for the item before you get it home. Like maybe move something else or think of where you could put it, because otherwise you get it home, you're very excited, you had the thrill of the shopping, and then you have the bag, it sits in the bag for maybe a few weeks or something, and then maybe you take it out and you don't take the tag off or anything, you just put it on your bed or something, and then you move it to the counter, and then you move it to your nightstand. You know, it's a whole thing. So plan on taking full possession of items before you bring them home, but in general, establishing a home for every single item in your home. Home for the keys, home for the dog's items, home for your phone when it's not, you know, on your person, home for your camera, home for your, I don't know, coasters. Everything should have a place. That makes it easy to put everything away. So that's my number 1 best practice for keeping an organized home. It seems obvious, seems kind of dumb, but I think it's the most important. Now in this video, I'm gonna be talking about exceptions, but I don't think there are any exceptions for that rule that I can think of. If you can think of any, leave them down below. And I said rule, didn't I? Best practice. I don't think there are any like exceptions to that one. It generally works very well, and it solves like 90% of people's problems as well. So my number 2 best practice is a slightly controversial one. So my next best practice is when you're decluttering a space, you should take everything out of the space, or at least nearly everything out. The reason for this is because you cannot see the space you're working with and all the items that are in your space. Now I've gotten some comments over the past few weeks, months, years that says I'm physically unable to take everything out, or it's just too mentally overwhelming, and you just can't sit there and take everything out of a closet. I say if that is the case for you, then here is how you can get around this issue. Take everything out of the space, but only have it be a smaller defined space. Like say you're working with a closet and you are just simply intimidated by the idea, or you're physically unable to take everything out of that space in one go. Then divide that space into smaller spaces. So instead of taking everything out of the entire closet, you'll take everything off of the closet floor. If the closet floor is too much for you in one go, then take everything out of the right side of the closet floor. Break your space down into manageable little spaces, because the main point of the exercise of taking everything out is to make sure that you get a win and to look at everything that's in that space. So you can divide that space, that bigger space, into smaller spaces. That way you still get a win. It might take you a little longer than if you were to take everything out in one go, but you still get a win. You still get that positive momentum. So I still agree that taking everything out of the space in one go is usually the best way to go for most people, and it's usually the way that I love to attack spaces. But if you need to divide the space into smaller spaces in order for you to get that win, go ahead, you do you. The next best practice I like to incorporate when I organize the space, or when I help people organize the spaces, is know what you're gonna do with those discarded items. Know what you're gonna do with those discarded items before you even start discarding. So before you start getting stuff out of the closet and like dividing it into piles and stuff like that, know what's going to happen to each one of those piles, because it's going to help you actually go and get rid of those items when it comes down to it. If you don't know what charity you're donating to, you don't know who you're going to give stuff to, you don't know, exactly how you're going to like maybe trash an item. If you're missing some of this information, you're going to be less likely to sort of get rid of it in the first place, because your mind's going to be like, well, I want to give this to charity, but I don't know which charity I'm going to take it to. Maybe Goodwill, maybe, Boomerangs, maybe. Have a defined place before you start, because that's going to help you move along in the process. Taking small chunks to tidy up during the day is going to be much more effective in the long run than taking one day a week to like pick up your entire house and like spend 3 hours, 4 hours just like neatening up, trying to find organizing systems. It's just too much. I personally cannot handle an entire day of cleaning. I believe that taking 10 or 15 minutes before bed to tidy up, to put things in their places, maybe clean up a little bit, and you maintain that short period of time, can be really satisfying to you and make you feel really good, because again, that way you're giving yourself an easy win, and I'm all about those easy wins. If you can get an easy win, then you're more incentivized to keep your home tidy and keep it organized. Otherwise, if you're saving all of your like mess up to like deal with all in one day, that's going to be not a fun day, and I want you to enjoy your days off and not spend the entire day organizing and cleaning and just having a bad time. Unless of course that is your idea of a good time, then I guess I'd say again, you do you. My final best practice for keeping an organized and tidy home is to not go shopping for organizing solutions before you have started your project and before you have finished decluttering. When I was a Container Store employee back in the day, I came across so many people who were out shopping. They were like, I'm going to organize my closet. What do I need? The problem with this is sometimes things are happening in the wrong order. Before you organize something, you have to make sure you're going to keep everything in that space. So you haven't decluttered, you haven't gone and looked to see if there's anything that you don't need anymore, and then you're buying products for things you don't need anymore. You're just moving them around, but you're not really optimizing the space. You might take home 30 shoe boxes and only need 15. It's true that you can, take home solutions and then you can like return them and it's fine. Actually, Container Store I think encourages that. They're like, take home something, try it. If it doesn't work, bring it back. It's fine. However, I wanna save you that trip. I encourage you to declutter your space and see what you have left, and then go and buy solutions if you need them. You might not even have to buy them at all. I know that going shopping for organizing solutions is really fun. It's really fun, but just resist the urge to do it too early. Wait till you're towards the ends of your process, and then you can buy the products and put everything on there, arrange it neatly, and then like sit back and admire your work, and you're gonna be like, yep, I did that. Okay, so I wanna close by saying you have to do what's best for you at the end of the day. I am not the Bible. What I say is not gospel. I just want to give you guys some guidance so that you guys can attack your spaces, organize your homes, feel comfortable living there. And if something that I say does not work for you, you don't have to do it. You have to do what works for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and are having a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.